Find a polynomial with integer coefficients that satisfy the given conditions. So I have q, a function q, and it needs to be degree 3, and it has zeros at -3 and 1 plus I. Okay, so if it has a 0 at -3, one of the factors will be 1x plus 3, and that's the factor theorem that says if I have a 0 that is c, one of the factors will be x minus c. Having said that, another factor will be x minus this whole 0, which is going to be 1 plus I, which eventually will become x minus 1 minus I, and then x plus 3. Now, if you know anything about polynomials, you know that this is only a degree 2 because there's only 2 factors. So I need to find a third one. The conjugate zero theorem says that if you have a complex number, a plus bi, its conjugate will also be a 0. So the conjugate of a plus bi would be a minus bi. So 1 plus I is a 0, which means 1 minus I must also be a 0. So if I factor this one, you're going to get x minus 1 minus I, which ends up becoming x minus 1 plus I. Now what we need to do is we need to make a polynomial with integer coefficients, which means what we need to do is we need to distribute all of this into each other. So the easier one to distribute, surprisingly, is going to be these imaginary numbers first. So I'm going to get this one, which is x squared, minus x plus xi. And then I'm going to get minus x plus 1 minus I, and then minus xi plus I minus I squared. And then all of this is going to be multiplied by x plus 3. That comes from this right here. So all of this are these together. This is right here. Now I'm going to look for things that might reduce. So I end up getting this and this reduce. This and this reduce. I squared we know is going to be -1, so this becomes +1. And so I'm left with x squared minus 2x. And then right here, I have plus 1 plus 1. So that's going to be plus 2. And then we get x plus 3. Now we need to distribute this out, which ends up becoming x cubed plus 3x squared minus 2x squared minus 6x plus 2x plus 6, which gives me a polynomial of x cubed plus x squared minus 4x plus 6. And if you notice, it's degree 3, and it has integer coefficients.